Okay. Did anything happen about the time that this started or really got worse in her life that was traumatic or stressful or some big change? Anything happened about the time this started to be a problem?
Well, she moved closer to me, and I started working full-time, so I wasn't readily available for her. And so she had a lot of loneliness and by herself.
When you challenge her views, when you say, look, Mom, this doesn't make sense. You say this is happening at the house. You've been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different hotels, and you say they're following you from hotel to hotel. What does she say when you challenge it and say it doesn't make common sense?
Whenever I challenge her, she always gets combative with me. She gets mad. She'll go from, even last night, she went from a happy state to an upset state where she thought I was against her to now feeling sad and crying and her needing my support. And so it's always that I don't believe her. You're like them. You don't believe me.
Okay, and so logic doesn't affect her.
Right.
And she claims that these chemicals are coming in through the vents, and so she goes out and eats in the garage.
Yes.
And she talks about outgassing. So that's when she's purging herself. If she gets out away from it, she's purging herself.
Right.
Okay, and have you seen actually any symptoms that you objectively observe? Has she gotten less healthy? Is she showing any
No, and that's...
dizziness, wobbliness, anything
No,
at all?
when we're together, her state is completely different than when she's by herself.
Okay.
So when she's with me, she seems healthy. She just talks about a little bit of a shoulder pain, or she can't walk because her knee, and that sometimes she can't walk because of the effects of the gassing.
Right. And how does she feel about being here today?
She's so hopeful. She's so hopeful that you're going to help her. And
how does she feel about me?
oh, she wrote into the show, and then I wrote into the show based on her just breaking down every time she would talk about you giving her help and getting her help. She would start crying.
We're going to meet Cheryl, and who says her biggest fear was that she wouldn't make it here today. We're going to find out why. She actually thought she was being gassed in the hotel we put her up in last night in Hollywood. But before I bring her out here and get her really overwhelmed by this, I'm going to talk to her a bit backstage, then we'll bring her out and talk to her. And as I said to all of you guys before, I know this sounds outrageous, but it's very serious to her. And so I'll ask you to be, I know you will, just particularly respectful. We'll be right back. You think that they're just evil people that just will kill you?
Oh, absolutely. He looked me face to face, dead on in the eyes, telling me I'd kill you right now if I could with my bare hands.
Tomorrow, she earned a college scholarship, but now
I am the best dancer in the world.
she wants to be a hip-hop dancer.
You're in professional training?
I professionally teach myself.
Will Lady Gaga's choreographer think she has what it takes?
You said she fought back instead of took the coaching.
My feet hurt. This doesn't work. My hair.
I think that he would love to work with me again.
With an ego and an attitude like that, no one wants to work with her.
That's tomorrow. Then, on Wednesday, Jonestown Massacre survivors.
You're on the tarmac for 22 hours with 5 gunshots. You're collapsed in a jungle with 3 gunshots. How did y'all stay alive?
That's Wednesday.
One time I was terrified of him. The terrorist was controlling me from above and doing such terrible things to me. So this time it was so bad. I confronted this situation. I said, are you doing something in the attic? Because I'm getting some very strong chemical smells coming from the attic. And he said no, but his eyes darted so hard to the left you couldn't even see the eyeballs. They went so hard to the left. To me, that says that's a sign that they're lying if they cannot control that. He looked at me with his eyes that if he could, he would put his hands around my neck and choke me to death.
Well, Cheryl says she feels